All right, welcome back, YouTube RC lovers. This is your host Theibault, aka Omar, and we are back with the Tamiya TT-02 Type S build. Last time we left the chassis with the drive line complete, motor installed, our diffs are in there. So now we're going to move on to the arms for the chassis. This particular steps, there's really nothing special to it. We just have our parts. I'm just going to start getting going on these guys. This is pretty straightforward. One of my favorite parts of this is it's the first time we're going to use the ubiquitous little cross wrench, T-wrench, whatever you want to call it. So let's just dive right in. The one piece to pay attention to, these arms are reversible. So you just want to make sure, according to the instructions, that you are putting the ball ends on the side with the two holes on it. If you notice, this part is supposed to go on first. Hey, this happens when you get sometimes. Okay, now onto the rear arms. Alright, we got our parts for the rear arms. They're going to go together exactly the same as the front ones did. Just a couple different little parts in here instead of the tubes. We got these guys over here. We got a couple spacers in there as well. I do want to quickly point something out, and that is in the first episode of this build, when I put the diffs together, I realized I hadn't greased the top and bottom parts of the little planetary gears, not the smallest ones, but the bottom and top ones, and I hadn't put any grease on there. I just wanted to point out, one of my viewers, Shenlonko, he actually mentioned that in the comments. I'd already gone in and taken them apart and re-greased those pieces, but Shen, good eye, my man. Eagle eye. Good job. And this time I'm not going to forget to put this piece on there. All right, and we got our front and rear arms on. Okay, time to assemble the front damper stay. Again, pretty straightforward, just follow the instructions, nothing too complicated here. Okay, we have our front damper stay on. All right, our next step is going to be our front axles. Now, a couple things that are of note during this step. First and foremost, they do ask you to drill a 2.5 millimeter hole at the bottom of these guys. And here in the US, nothing is metric. So a 3/32 drill bit will make you the perfect hole for those guys. One other item of note, turnbuckles. I know everybody who builds a kit absolutely loves making turnbuckles. It is the best part of a build. But to make things a little bit easier, if you don't have one, go out and get yourself a nice little shock shaft plier. These things make turnbuckles and screwing in eyelets into shocks and whatnot, into shock shafts I should say, quite a lot easier. So go out and get yourself one of these if you don't have one, because it is a terrific little tool that comes in quite handy. That being said, let's go ahead and let's get the front axles built up. Okay, so we got our front axles on, and now we're going to do the same, exactly what we did just a moment ago, but we're going to be doing that for the rear, and we're going to be starting with the rear damper stay. Again, just remember, take your time when you make your turnbuckles. Make sure you measure these guys correctly. It's not a big deal if you're a little bit off. It's always pretty common that when you're done with the kit, you're going to find that your toe and camber and things like that are going to be a little bit off. I mean, that's why they have the adjustment screws. But you have to pay very close attention to making sure that you put the correct turnbuckles on the correct side so that when you're doing adjustments, they're going to adjust the same way. Just a nice little tip on that. So that being said, let's go through and let's get the rear set up here. Going to take a small break because I forgot to drill out the holes on these guys that you need for the grub screws to hold the arm pins in. Okay, we are back and I got those holes drilled, so let's get going on the rear axles and get all this set up. All right, there we are. We got something that resembles a car now. We have all of our arms, everything on. That is the end of bag B. So moving forward, our next step is going to be episode 3. We'll be doing the shocks, the steering, and then the electronics will be put in, and then we'll have a car. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, make sure you subscribe so you get the update when the next episode is available. If you like the video, please give me some likes. I do appreciate that. And feel free to comment. Thanks, guys. I'll see you soon.